If the Hoth and Echo-based levels didn't sap what little morale you have left, this part certainly will. So after going through all that bullshit on Hoth, you come here to this fucking tree on the moon at Yavin IV. And what do you have to do in this tree? Oh, not much. Just fucking go all the way up and rescue Han. Piece of cake, right? Ha ha. I swear, this is one of the most vicious pieces of platforming that I've ever seen in a video game. Don't believe me? Just watch this. Essentially, you have to climb up all these crumbling blocks until you reach the top. And the game's slippery-ass controls certainly don't help matters any. If you move an inch to the left too much or an inch to the right too much, you will get killed. It's just that fucking simple. Not to mention all of these fucking spikes. Oh, and if your timing isn't perfect, even if you don't get killed, you'll still get trapped, like in this part. I missed the jump by about an inch or two, and now I have to kill myself because I can't get up there. Of course, you could levitate your ass up there if you have enough force crystals, but if you don't, well guess what? You're fucked. And even if you have enough force crystals, if you don't levitate in just the right way, you can run out of energy for some stupid reason and still die. This part took me nearly 100 times to get right without force powers. Now can you imagine trying to beat this part with only 3 or 4 lives and no continues? Can you really imagine doing that? Because I sure as hell can't. I got so aggravated at this part that I almost did a Levels from Hell just on this alone, and I think you can see why if you ever tried to play it. And one other thing, why the fuck is Han's hair blonde instead of brown? Do I even need to mention the stupidity of having Vader on Yavin IV when he should be on the Death Star? After one more miserable dogfight, you finally manage to get to the trench run, and believe me, the game's not done fucking with you yet. You have 60 seconds to make it all the way down the trench past 6 checkpoints to the exhaust port. Unfortunately, the game gives you these curves that are nearly impossible not to crash into, and even if you somehow manage to avoid it, when you get up to the next curve, there's a 50-50 chance of you running into a dead end. So essentially you're playing Russian roulette when you go down these trenches. Take the right path and you'll manage to survive a little longer. Take the wrong one and you'll lose a life. Or the game can be really fair and drop you right into a fucking wall, killing you instantly, unless of course you veer out of the way in time, and sometimes you can't even do that. And if you fail, you're treated to a nice visual of the Death Star destroying the moon of Yavin IV. Gee, thanks for that nice extra slap in the face. Oh sure, you could hang back and take your time, but the problem with that is that the clock keeps going down unless you collect these time icons. So essentially the game forces you to rush whether you like it or not. And once again, you have to beat this part with only a couple of lives and no continues. Sound like fun? Then be my guest. So in conclusion, poor hit detection, sloppy controls, wretched gameplay, and aggravating puzzles and jumps? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun to me. Seriously though, even if you're one of those die-hard enthusiasts who has to play every Star Wars game that's ever been made, do yourself an enormous favor and stay the fuck away from this game. Trust me, it's not worth playing it, no matter how much you love Star Wars. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. Is this Star Wars or fucking Moby Dick?